Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week. And gosh, what a week it has been. Um, it's always fun. It's always fun on the long weekend. So I'm hoping you guys are having a pretty good long weekend. Hopefully you're not working. Hopefully you're not working till Tuesday. So, yeah, an interesting weekend for sure. So, of course, we're still looking at oil. I think we still have oil starting to trade tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure, but not 100%. But nonetheless, what's going to go on with oil? It sounds like there's been a few little things that have happened in in the Strait of Hormuz. Um, I heard that a drone, I actually heard that a drone from Iranian drone caused a bit of a fire at a nuclear site. I think it was in UAE, but you gotta stay away from that. We don't want to get this mess getting any bigger. But so far it seems like things are holding. And one of the big questions I think that I have today is, what are we going to get this week? Are we getting green or are we getting red? Now, the arguments for green, of course, is that historically, the week following Memorial Day is traditionally lower volume. So usually there's not a lot going on the market in that week. People are starting to gear up a little bit and thinking about summer. Um, However, with that being said, we've also got, we've got a full-on oil crisis developing. And, when I use the word oil crisis, I'm not using it lightly. Like even now, even if the Strait of Hormuz opened tomorrow, let's just say that happened, it's gonna take years. Like oil won't be back to where it was in February, like the movement of oil. It won't be back there until, oh gosh, probably 2027. So there's going to be lingering effects even once this does end, if it ends. Now, here's the downside. The downside is, what if it doesn't end soon? Oh boy. Well, one of the things that's happening is global oil reserves are getting low. And here's a funny thing. When you look at global oil reserves, a lot of countries, they may report bigger numbers than what they actually have to use. Does that mean they don't have? If they say we've got 1 billion, I don't want to say 1 billion, nobody, I don't think anybody has a billion right now. But if they say we have 500,000 barrels of oil, that doesn't mean that they can use 500,000 barrels of oil because of infrastructure, the way pipelines work. Some of that oil actually needs to be in the pipelines. So it's not, I was going to say it's not all liquid. Well, it is, but it's not all liquid in the sense that they have 500,000 that they can use. Maybe they can only use half of it. So maybe they only have 250,000. So when you consider that as well, we're getting closer to a breaking point. And I've heard all kinds of experts say that, if it goes into June, we're in trouble. If it hits the middle of June, we're in trouble. I tend to subscribe to the one that says, hey, you know what? We're already in trouble. And I think we are. I think when it comes to what's going to happen to oil on the other side of this, like, yeah, oil will come down briefly from the excitement of, like if the strait opens and we get an actual peace treaty end of the war. Yeah, it'll look really good for a bit, but that oil is going to creep back up because supply and demand. The demand is there, the supply is not there. That's kind of the rule. So we'll see an over exuberance on the market initially. So it's going to be interesting. What are you guys thinking? So here, I asked this, I already asked, but let's ask you again. What are we gonna see this week, red or green? Um, I almost should do a poll. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it for now. If you guys really want me to put it up as a poll, just let me know. I'll certainly do that. All right. Let's see. Let's actually hit the chat. Let's hit the chat really quick here. Nicholas is in first. Nicholas, you've taken it away from, it's usually Jonathan, Rory, or Scott, or Wahipple is in there, is in a lot. So congratulations on that. Samantha says, good afternoon, all. Week was overall good in the market. Wishing I hadn't sold most of my most of my BlackBerry at $6. Yeah, I can understand that. Lance says, happy Sunday, everyone. Designation 8 in there with the new emotes. So we got new emotes here for the channel members. So we got 2 so far. Oh gosh, I actually wanted to make a couple more for today. I got behind. I got behind today. Scripting a video, and it took a lot longer than I had anticipated. But it's just that day. It's a weekend, right? And it's a long weekend. So today was weights day, and normally weights takes about 50 minutes. I think it went about an hour, 20 minutes. So I lost a lot of time. everything just kept on falling behind today. But I'm going to try to get some done for the next show. Speaking of the next show, guys, so right now our next scheduled show is Wednesday. So there's no show tomorrow, but we can have a show on Tuesday. Now, that, of course, is, I think I turned it on the Financial Express. I don't know if it's showing up or not. But, guys, if you do want to have a Tuesday show, if by the end of the show we get 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination, we'll tack on a show Tuesday. Now, I will point out, though, for the channel members, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're still going to have our after office hours. So that's still on the schedule no matter what happens here. All right, Paul is in the house with a good afternoon. I hope you don't have to work today, Paul. Nugent says, happy holiday, everyone. Mark says, good afternoon. Well, hello, Mark. King of Day, hello, all. Happy Sunday. And, oh, it is working. All right, I just saw that. I saw it finally pop up. Scott says, happy Sunday of a long weekend, everyone. I hope the weather is cooperating where you are. Scott. The weather's fantastic here today. Guys, let me show you. I'll show you what we've got, what we got in store here. Whoops. I got to bring up there we go. That's not the weather. That's Michael Roderick. Let's go to the weather, though, instead. News, the weather. Here we go. Right now, we're sitting at 23. So 23 today. The next couple of days, actually. Tomorrow's going to be 26, but we're going to have some showers. And then 29 on Tuesday. Oh boy, maybe that'll get to 30. We'll see, and maybe some thunder and lightning. So this is my dream, guys. My dream, let's go back big screen, is I want a really big thunder and lightning storm to happen while I'm on the air. You know, and then if that happens, I'll turn some of the lights off just so that we can get some flashes in here. Don't ask me why I want that. I just do. All right, and Nightbot, yes, we got the Financial Express going. So if you want to add a Tuesday show, guys, it is on the table. Bismarcky, happy Sunday. Finally, some nice weather. John Tucker, good morning from Vietnam. Oh, no. I want to say it. I could never give Robin Williams justice, though, so I won't. But gosh, John, I really want to say it. I'm going to be tempted now. I'm just going to continually be tempted. But anyway, thank you for joining from Vietnam. I'm loving it. Lisa says, hi, everyone. Luke says, happy Sunday from Postano, Italy. Nice. 10 p.m. here, and the wine is flowing faster than Middle East oil. Holy banana bread. Today's show is very international. Where's Nice? Nice, I hope you're here too, because then we're all over the place. Now we just need somebody from Australia, because we got Asia, we got Europe. So yeah, Australia would be nice. King a Day, snowed. What? What? Snowed in Calgary yesterday. I had to turn the heater back on. Oh, I'm so sorry, King a Day. Luke, I continue to sell off my growth stocks and accumulate defensive stocks. Bought some GFL and WSP this week. Candace, thoughts on why WSP is down so much? All right, let's pull up. What did I just do? Oh, did I? All right, all right, I know what I did. No, oh, I didn't do anything. All right, perfect. All right, WSP, let's pull it up. Here we go. So WSP Global. All right, perfect. All right, so I want to pull up the chart first of all so we can sort of see. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Holy banana bread. So yeah, they've definitely been on a slide to the downside. All right, now first of all, and this WSP. They're a good company. They're definitely integral science, engineering, all that fun stuff. Let's see here. Let's see, science-based communities, advanced humanity, global spanning presence. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. So, pioneer solutions, and I'm just trying to see here. I'm wondering. I want to check one thing here. Let's just go to the news. Because quite literally, I can't see this whole AI scare and people worried about AI. I can't see that impacting WSP that much. Let's see here. So strong profitability. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, okay. All right, so yeah, it was like March that we had the earnings, so that shouldn't be that I don't know what's going on, Luke. To be honest, I really don't know. There's nothing in here that's showing me anything big. Now, mind you, let's go back to the chart here for a moment. I want to back out even further. We were looking at the 1 year. Let's go to the 5 year. All right. So, yeah, so okay, yeah. I was going to say, could this be a correction? If it is, it's a pretty big size correction because, it's pushed them back to like 2023 numbers. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on there, Luke. Now, I'm kind of interested. What I want to know, you know what I want to see? Let's just try one more thing here. We're going to go to Yahoo. All right, Yahoo Finance. Perfect. And I want to see what what their projections are on this one, just for the 1 year. I'm kind of curious. All right, here we go. WSP. All right, so the 1 year target, 315. All right, that's interesting. And look, that's like way up there. So obviously this happened after their earnings because normally those projections are normally added right around the time of their earnings. So this is interesting. I would say one thing. This is a solid company. And here, I want to take a look at their debt. I have not looked at that yet. Their debt to equity is not bad at all. It's only 51%. So that's not too shabby. But they are a solid company. I think if you have faith in them, then right now, this is not a bad time to be probably entering into this company. Like I said, I don't know why they have fallen as much as they have, but I can see in the area that there's certainly a lot of support, and I think they've got a lot of a moat. I think their moat's pretty big, so I do see them as being, I see them as recovering. So I think that hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Scott, I've never been first. I make it a point not to be. Oh, okay. All right. But it's just one of those things. It's like your name sticks out in my head. It's probably because you're the first to tell a joke most days. King a Day, with the meeting in China with all the CEOs, I am expecting a green week next week. You would hope so. Now, one of the big problems, though, with that meeting in China is Trump didn't walk away with any deals. I think one of the things, I think he was kind of hoping that if he could get China on his side, it might be able to open up the strait. That obviously didn't happen. But And here's the point. All of those CEOs, I'm sure they had a lot of conversations in China. So I don't know if any of them managed to strike some deals for their companies. I have not heard yet. Not to say that they haven't, but I'm hoping to see green. I would just like a calm week, just one calm week. Grain says, hello all, a little rain in Saskatchewan today. Rain's better than snow. Rain's better than Rory here and his wet snow. Oh boy. Scott says you're getting our GTA weather 2 days later. Yeah, it's. I guess it must be a slow-moving system. But some good news. I was listening to some more reports on this whole El Nino, the super El Nino. And so from the sounds of things, it's actually developing a little bit later in the year than we had anticipated. So that might mean that we could potentially have a half decent summer before we see a lot of those effects. And this is a good thing as well for the West. It also means that you may not have as hot of a summer as what it could have caused, which is probably good for the wildfire front, hopefully. Not to say you won't have wildfires, but where this works out really well is where it is developing. It could very well mean a pretty half decent winter for the east. So that's not too shabby. All right. Lance says, I'm worried that Trump made or is making some kind of deal with Xi that will see the U.S. not provide military support to Taiwan should China become aggressive, something along the lines of China trying to take Taiwan and the U.S. trying to hold on to the strait. Doubtful, but I don't trust either of them. Okay, I have an opinion. I think China, even if Donald Trump said, you know what, we're just going to let you do it. China's not going, or Taiwan, they're not going to just roll over. I mentioned this before. So Ukraine has been visiting Taiwan and giving them some of the insight onto how they've been able to hold Russia off with drones. So that could be interesting if Taiwan starts using some of those drone tactics to hold China off. Because, first of all, China has to be able to get to them. They're an island. If you've got these drone technology that's capable of, and you're capable of blowing up big ships, or at least putting holes in them, I think it'll be a little bit more difficult than China imagines, even if the U.S. decides to stand back and not do anything. All right, Mary is in the house with a hello all, and guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So if you have not yet hit that like button, give it a good old click, turn it blue. While you guys are doing that, I get to have my my first coffee of the day. Awesome, awesome. Whew, that's good. And when I say of the day, I mean the stream. I should say the stream. Just say what you mean, Candace, right? Paul, CMCL ETF seems good. Global X enhanced all-in-one community producers equity covered call ETF. Yes, absolutely. Here, let's take a look at it. There we go. CMCC. Where's my CMCL? Oh boy. Did I only put the CC? Yeah, I only did. That's probably because, anyway, we'll just head into CMCC. This is the non-covered call version. Let me get I want the CMCL. Let's go to the CL because this is our leveraged version right here. Bang, boom. All right, now, here's a beautiful thing. So this here is your Global X Enhanced All-in-One Commodity Producers Equity Covered Call ETF. I'm excited about this one. So it is semi-monthly. I did not expect that. I really thought it was going to be monthly, but those of you who like that extra income, those 2 dividends a month or 2 distributions, yeah, this is the one to consider. Now, we are looking at a couple of things. One, We don't yet have any idea on what the moneyness is going to look like. So typically, Global X tends to write out of the money covered calls, and they usually, in all of their commodities, they've been giving a good amount of moneyness. So they've been giving room. They've been giving it room to grow a little bit. So we'll have to see how this looks depending on what, obviously, if they want to go with a real high distribution, and we don't know yet exactly what that's going to be, then yeah, then we're going to be a little bit closer. We're going to be a little bit closer. But right now, we don't yet have any idea. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what these numbers are going to look like. It's only just started trading, I think, on Thursday. And as you can see here, we got metals, so base metals, precious metals, and energy. Pretty much almost an even split between them, almost. And here's the other beautiful thing. Look at this. You're getting a geographic. So this is not just Canadian, this is world. So you'll notice here, Canada is the biggest chunk, 60%. But then we got US, Britain, South Africa, Australia, China, South Korea, Japan, Mexico, Peru. So a whole bunch of exposure in there. And here are some of their top holdings here. So you got to love it. Global X Canadian Oil and Gas Equity Covered Call. Global X Gold Producers. This is, I think, GLCC. This one, ENCC. CPCC. So yeah, we're seeing a whole bunch in here. We got the silver in here. We got their new one, their Global X Uranium Covered Call ETF. So yeah, this is fantastic. Like I really like what's in here. I'm very bullish on this sector for the long term. So I think this is I think this will be a big performer. And I did add them. I have opened up this position in the 0 to 100K challenge. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit, Paul. All right, and yes, we do have the the Financial Express is on. Xenial, Friday was one of the hardest drops since March in tech. Do you think we could see a recovery at some point this week? If we get, like nothing happening this week, then yeah, we could definitely see some recovery in there for sure. And you got to look at, and the funny thing is, when you actually look, like here, I still have the heat map. I still have the heat map from Friday. Not everybody in tech suffer. So Microsoft on Friday was up 3.12 and Apple was up 1.01. But yeah, no, there was a lot of dropping in here. Micron, that poor Micron, down 3.62. Intel down 6.25, AMD. So yeah, and I find too lately, I honestly think a lot of the chip companies, I think they're undervalued. I know we always talk a lot about overvalue, but a lot of these chip companies, I think they could be a lot bigger. So I think there's room. There's room to see some improvement. We'll see what this week is going to look like. Scott, let's see. Stella Jones did the same as WSP. I expect it's an overreaction. I'd look at it as a buying opportunity if you're looking to hold long term. And that's what I'm thinking. I can't see it going much lower. I see it as a good spot entry point. Snow goes out, mosquitoes come in, Canada living. Speaking of, well, not mosquitoes, but I saw one today. You guys were mentioning that one of you guys mentioned you saw a bumblebee the other day. I saw a bumblebee today. It flew by. I was having my lunch. And it flew by the window. I was just watched it go by and I said, oh, look, there it is. Which is funny because I was looking at the lawn earlier before that. And we got our first dandelions of the year popping up. And I was like, oh, that'd be great for the bees. And then I was remembering about the bee. And next thing you know, along came a bee. And I'm like, oh, there's the bee. So not too bad. Scott says, do you get the black flies, Rory? Or is that more Manitoba? I think any place there's woods, you're going to get black flies. We used to get them something fierce in Nova Scotia. Black flies and mosquitoes, kind of that double whammy. And quite literally, my mom, she hated it so much, she actually went out and bought like a hat with a netting on it so she could completely cover herself when she go out in the backyard to play ring toss. So I was just like, okay. All right. Mario says, hi, or no, HL is a, I thought that was a high for a second. HL is a NVIDIA a reference for other semiconductors. If it falls, then it will drag all others. Or that might be a high. High is, okay, it is a high. I got it right the first time. Not necessarily. When NVIDIA does well, the others do tend to do well too, but I don't think they're directly connected. However, a lot of times when deals start happening between some of the different chip companies, that deal, of course, can certainly help impact multiple companies. So I would say that they're kind of in the same boat, but they have a little bit of leeway for sure. Rory says, yeah, we get those flies too. Tony says, hey, all from sunny BC with a brand new latte. Nice. Rory, +1. +1 with light fury. Oh boy, flurries. I was gonna say furies, but oh boy. Just type Black Fly song in YouTube. No. Gosh, maybe later, but yeah, we did that one night on After Hours, and boy, I got hit with all these copyright claims just because. And we didn't even watch a full video of anything. We watched little clippets. But yeah, they got me. I mean, I just deleted them. I deleted those parts out, but nonetheless. Scott, FTG has been pretty flat for a few months now with no dividend. It's pretty much a dead investment right now. So Fair and Technology Group, yeah, I still like them, but yeah, no, they have been flat. They haven't moved a lot in the last little while. I'm not ready to bail on them, but we'll see what happens. Rory, like Biggie, looking for a less than impressive covered call investment. Biggie. Oh. Yeah, I'm really hoping that Evolve shuffles up Biggie a little bit. Does something. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest problem with Biggie is that it's just a little too aggressive. If you just pulled it back a little bit, even a little bit, quite literally, all I would want from Biggie is for it to at least be breaking even. As when I talk about breaking even, I'm just talking about the NAV itself, not talking about the total return. Obviously, I want I want the dividends that are promised, the distributions that are promised. I don't want I just don't want the NAV falling. Rory says I don't own it. Do they still sell those mosquito coil that you can light on fire? They probably, well, maybe, unless there's something toxic in them. But yeah, I know the ones that you're talking about. Not sure I can always use off from the can. Yeah. Apparently, Canadian Tire has the coils for sale. I haven't seen them in forever. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there used to be those, and I don't know, is this the same as the coils? Those citrine ones that were like, they were almost like torches, like, like from Gilligan's Island, those torches you'd stick in the ground and, sort of like that. But yeah, I haven't seen those in a while, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with those guys. Yikes. Oh, well. What can I say? I'm going to have some coffee. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, gosh, that is good. Yeah. Canadian Tire. Now they bought, Canadian Tire bought the Bay things, and I did see something recently saying they were putting some of the colored stuff out, like with those Bay colors, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's been going on with them. Other than that, let's see, crappy and coil sewage services. What is coil? I don't know what coil sewage is, but yeah. Let's see. All around, all aboard. Yeah, all aboard. All right, let's skip that. More like incense for flies. Yeah. Well, the big thing is, though, guys, If you get rid of any standing water around your house, if you're very, if you're very, I'm gonna trying to think of the word. If you're very diligent about it, you can get rid of a lot of the mosquitoes because, if they don't have any standing water, it makes it harder for them to breed. And the reality is, all of the mosquitoes at your house, they all come from, like, they don't have a very big range. So, that's a thing. And a lot of people, it's like that old tire sitting out behind the backyard. It's got a little bit of water in it. Well, get rid of that. Get rid of that water. Just get rid of standing water. And then if they can't breed, you will have less. Another thing too, and this is what my grandfather used to do, and this actually used to work pretty well, is if you take a rag, so this, just a normal old rag. If let's say you're sitting out on the deck, you just take the rag, you light it on fire, and then you quickly stomp it out, so that it smolders, and it just has a little tiny bit of smoke that's coming off of it. That's really good at keeping the flies away. And, just saying. That's how he used to do it. I mean, it seemed to work. Lance, do you prefer broad market ETFs over sector ETFs? Lower costs and simplicity, or sector-specific growth that comes with the cost of a higher management expense ratio? Okay, great question. I mean, I like both. I like the broad market ones because, you're getting a little bit of everything. So I think normally if I were to look at my core is going to be more broad market. Then, then depending on the situation, like when you look right now, for example, I'm very bullish over the next while on things like materials, energy, and those are going to be sectors where, yeah, I have no problem, going a bit more heavy into it. And in fact, here, let me show you. You can actually see this really well if, excuse me, if we head over here to Blossom. Let's see, where are you, Blossom? Oh, that's right. Michael, there we go. Yeah, if we come over here to Blossom, and we'll come down here to, where am I looking? Oh, there we go, Insights. And, here we go. Looking at my portfolio, like you can see right here, right now I'm heavy in industrials. I'm heavy in energy. Materials is fairly high. So, of course, all of this comes at a cost of normally financials is a lot higher in my portfolio. So normally I would have financials up in here, financials and energy up towards the top. But right now, with the situation that we're in, with the big push towards infrastructure, the big push, industrial push, that is, that's why I am now skewing up there a little bit. That's why we've got materials up here. That's why we've got industrial up here. Once the situation changes, and this may take a while, obviously, I think even if, and this is kind of this interesting thing, this just might be a new reality for the rest of my life. Because even if, let's say, Trump decided to say, okay, no more tariffs, everything's good, Canada, I love you. The fact that this happened to us means that we're not going to change. I don't think we're going to change that course. We're going to see this one pipeline. I'm liking that. Of course, that was announced on Friday. We're going to see a lot more movement in that direction, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. All right, let's see here. Watch for ticks too. Oh yeah, I saw on one of these news programs somebody took their dog, brought their dog into the vet or something, and they found like 50 ticks on the dog. I'm like, what? How can you have that many? So yeah, no, ticks they're everywhere. Last summer I found one in the backyard, and my backyard doesn't have any plants in it, but every so often a plant sneaks in and grows. But yeah, no, I found one, like, I think it was last summer, just one. Scott says, we get huge swarms of gnats by the lake. It can be difficult to avoid inhaling them. Oh gosh. Lance, I'll be starting my camping in a month. I have something called rhino skin. That is the best thing I've ever used. I've never used those chemicals on my skin. Rhino skin is the way to go up north. Well, what is it, like a suit? Is you know, I mean, do you put it on and all of a sudden you're fighting Spider-Man? What is it? What is this rhino skin? Or is for some reason I'm almost picturing like a mesh suit of some sort that keeps the bugs from getting you. Let's see. Rory, pretty soon we'll be complaining about -20, -40 again. November is coming. It's a little ways away. Yeah, exactly. Scott says it's not Westeros, Rory. Yeah, yeah. Rory says, oh, yes, it is. The White Walkers are annoying. All right, except there are no dead people trying to attack us. I'm glad to hear that. Yet we need to build a wall. Oh boy. At the Ontario Manitoba border. Oh boy. That's not helpful. And Rory, November is for the Caribbean. There you go. There you go. I don't know if I want to take a cruise. Just saying. I've never been on a cruise. Now, I love boats. I love the ocean. But yeah, I don't think I would actually want to go on a cruise per se. I don't know. It's just the idea of being on being on a ship for that long, having spotty internet. Yeah, I don't know about that. Tony says we just rent a sailing cat. Okay, so that's a catamaran, I assume. Most of my sailing, like I've sailed, but most of my sail has been in small little petrels. So we're talking 2 people. Half the time you're pretty much you're tacking across the wind, and a lot of times you're tilted up so high you've got water running into the boat. Anyway, yeah. Sailing is fun. Scott says the Caribbean is infested with pirates. I mean, is there really, like, is there, obviously not the old pirates, but I mean, I don't know if we got a lot of pirates down in the Caribbean. I know there's a lot of pirates over, I think Africa has a fair amount of pirates, but I don't know. I don't know if we still have them out there at the Caribbean. I mean, you got the Bermuda Triangle, but that I'm not worried about that. Yep. Let's see. Rhino skin is clothing that most all bugs can't bite through. I've used it on trips up in Algonquin, Noganash, the Wildlands, and other places, and have come home with no bug bites. All right, I got to see what this looks like. Let's take a look, guys. We'll go to Google. Rhino skin. Oh boy, this could be interesting. Rhino skin, and I'm gonna put. Okay, yeah, here we go. Rhino skin. No, I better just put bug bite in here too. Bugs. There we go. Real rhinoceros paras. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh boy. All right. Rhino skin. All right. Full body bug suit. Maybe we'll just do that. All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at this. There's a mosquito net. M-Gag. Anti-mosquito. Tough outdoor mosquito. But I want... is that like a brand? Lance, is that a brand? Full body bug suit. Let's try it. Our rhino. I'm going to do it as one. The rhino skin. Let's do it that way and see. Oh, here we go. Rhino skin total. All right, here we go. Let's take a look and see. What do we got? You got gloves. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh. Holy cow. You kind of are, looking interesting there. All right. Okay. That's kind of cool. All right. Now, I guess here's the question, though, Lance. How breathable is the skin? How breathable? Like, does it get hot? All of that fun stuff. All right. Let's see. According to the movies, Bora Bora, Tahiti, Hawaii, good spots. Never been through. Let's see. I used to race small boats and mid-sized ones too. So much fun. Yeah. It's actually funny. I only got my white sail level 2. So there's a certification system through the Canadian Yachting Association. I would have had my 3 other than I did one bad thing with the sailboat. I kind of rammed another boat because I had the right of way. I was like, I have the right of way. They're going to move. They're going to move. They didn't move. And then next thing you know, I kind of ran out of space to move. And I was like, ah, crap. And so, luckily there was no real damage. I mean, I wasn't going fast enough, but I got penalized for it. And I only got my white sail level 2 as a result. Anyway, I would have had white sail level 3, and then after white sail, I think it goes to like silver sail, and there's a whole ranking system. A lance, it's none of those. It wears like spandex. Yes, that one. Okay, the bug suit. We should all have one. I'm kind of liking it. Yeah. It's like I would wear those outside, and I don't know whether to just enjoy not being bitten by bugs or whether I should be stopping a robber or something. But yeah, or maybe I should be the robber if they're black. Morley says, I enjoyed the PII video you were in with Adriano. Lots of good info. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, we did a couple of those. I actually, and I haven't talked to Adriano yet. I think we should do those more regularly. Like, I think that should be almost a once a month thing because I think it's pretty cool bringing everybody together. But yeah. Lance says, very breathable. While on the portage trails, I'm fine, and humidity on the trails is off the charts in the summer. There we go. Yeah, Lance, there you've doubled me. So I stopped at silver level 6. Maybe that's why I'm so bullish on silver. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely. Yeah, white sail 1 to 3. And I had 2. I don't know how long it's valid for. I mean, I got it when I was a teenager, so it's probably not as valid anymore. But all right, so yeah, okay, here we go. I have a small sample of silver from a mine in the Yukon. Nice. Okay, then we go to bronze. Okay, there we go. So bronze is 4 and 5. Silver is 6, and then gold. All right, perfect. Yeah. And now I did that when I was in Sea Cadets, because, where else would you be sailing? Although I will say this, the Halifax Harbor used to be really, really gnarly when it comes to the stuff that was in it. They've cleaned it up a lot since then, but one of the things that we had to do is we had to practice capsizing, and gosh, did not like going in that water, but we did it. We did it. Other than, I kind of wanted to just do a dry roll. And those of you who don't know sailing, a dry roll is basically you tip, but as you tip, you basically climb up on the hull, and then you sort of come up over the other side and pull it back so that it continues, the boat basically continues to go like 360. You pull it back up, and once it's up, then you get inside. You're still going to get really wet. Then you're going to be using your bail bucket to try to get that water out of there. But yeah, anyway, holy banana bread. Although I got to say, sailing's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, guys. If you've never done it, it's a lot of fun, especially if you got the wind. If you got the wind, it can be absolutely fantastic. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's. I'm gonna get us out of the featured collections. Oh, there's CMCL again. All right, actually, where did I want to go? Put us. Actually, ooh. Oh, you know what I did? That's what I did. I brought that in over top of my normal portal. So let's see. Scott says, when I was a kid, we used to joke you could walk on Lake Erie. It was so polluted. Oh gosh, really? Yeah. We've done a good number on the planet, that's for sure. Rory says, I sailed on a canoe in junior high. Canoes, yeah, I've done a lot of canoeing. Where I used to live, when I was in high school, we lived really far out, but we were pretty close to, what the heck was it called? There was a little camping site not that far from us. So I could walk up to this camping site. It would be about an hour's walk. Or just take my, or I could jump on the bicycle and be there like in, 15 minutes. But you could rent canoes there. And there was like this whole big, it was called Colonial Camping. There we go. There was this whole big river system all in behind Colonial Camping. And you could just canoe for hours. That's the only time I've ever seen a moose in my life. is out there canoeing. One day I just went by and there was a moose on the side of the river. It just looked up at me and I was like, "Oh, hi moose," and that was it. All right, and let's see. You and canoe. Was it a canoe or a raft? No, it was well for me. It was a canoe. Yeah, there's been a few things. Actually, a really funny story. So a friend of mine, Adam, he was like, let's go out and have a fishing contest. I was like, a fishing contest? How do you have a fishing contest? And he's like, well, simple. We'll go out on the canoe and we'll fish. Whoever catches the most fish wins. I'm like, all right, I'm game. So we got out on the canoe. We went to all the little places on the lake to try, to fish. Neither of us caught a thing. Nothing. So we're coming back, and I just left my line in the water. My line was just dragging behind the canoe. And we're about halfway back, and all of a sudden my line just bends, just whoo, because I had a fish. We reeled it in, and it didn't bite my lure. I actually caught the fish in the tail. I just happened to catch the fish swimming by, and my lure came through the water and hooked its tail. Just below the tail, because obviously if you hit the tail, it would just rip through. And he was just like, no, that doesn't count. I'm like, I caught a fish. I think it should count. So I won, but it was funny. It was just really, really weird. All right, Aurora, canoe, looking at bank this week. Ah, yes. Yeah, no, bank had a pretty good week, that's for sure. All right, let's see. Did you ever turtle your boat? I was using a spinnaker sail one time while there was plenty of wind. We were going so fast that we went from sailing at a beam reach to in the water, what I felt like. Yeah, I mean, obviously, uh, yeah, I have turtled before, but and guys, and the reason I call it turtles, when they're completely upside down in the water, the actual boat, it looks, like the hull, it looks kind of rounded like a turtle shell. So yeah, very, very interesting. Now, if you've got a really long sail, it makes it really hard to upright it from a turtled position. But the first thing you do is even when we were doing dry rolls, one person had to be in the water, because the first thing you want to do is when you upright the boat, you want to make sure the wind doesn't really play much of a role. So you pretty much point one person is sort of maneuvering the boat in the direction of the wind. So that way there, you can pull it up so that you have minimal, you don't want your sail all of a sudden being caught by the wind the second it comes up. Let's see. Instantly the boat way upside down, and we didn't know what hit us. Yikes. Is that like club hauling? I guess not. Yeah. Anyway, sailing's fun. Sailing's fun. I wouldn't actually mind trying one of these days a sailboard. Now, it would probably be a disaster, but it would be a fun disaster. Well, maybe. It's hard to say. I'm not particular. I don't mind swimming, but I don't like I don't like it a lot. So, I don't mind being on the water. It's just in the water is not really my thing. Unless I got if I got fins and a mask and snorkel, that's not so bad. And it's usually my eyes. My eyes just do not like the water very much. So, that was the thing. As a kid, I hated the water, and then somebody, introduced me to goggles. And then eventually a mask, and I was just like, oh, I don't mind the water so much if it's not getting in my eyes. So, that's that's my story on the water. And it's actually funny. I don't know. Like, I'm living in Ottawa. I honestly don't even know where, if I wanted to go swimming, other than pools, I really don't know where you could swim. I don't know if you'd swim I don't know if you can swim in the Ottawa River. I've never really thought about it. I know there's parts of the river that it's downright dangerous to be swimming in. Let's see. Pirates, Treasure, Caribbean, sign me up. Yeah, this show has gone off the rails. It's a holiday weekend. We've gone off the rails. We're talking about boats and water and Caribbean and pirates. We could start talking about sharks soon, I suppose. Lance, I would love to buy a laser. Yes, those are, yeah, I know exactly what a laser is. A small, lightweight boat when I'm older, but they're expensive. I'll stick with a canoe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, lasers are pretty. And here, let's show you guys. Let's show you a laser. Oh, I guess I got to go back to Google. I think they're spelt with a Z, actually. I think. I'll just put boat. Here we are. Yep, here is, oh, no, they are S's. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking Z. I don't know why, but yeah, laser. So just to give you an idea, like they're a small boat. Like this is pretty much a one-person job here. But look at this. Like, does this not look like, oh, guys, can I not get a big picture? Open picture, a new tab. Let's go to a new tab. And actually here. Doesn't this look fun? Like that kid's having the time of his life. So yeah, anyway, they're pretty darn small. And that's the thing, like, you know, you have to be dynamic. When you're on a sailboat like this, it's not a smooth sailing. You're hanging over the edge, counterbalancing. It's a lot of fun. And do it, yeah, Rory could do it with the bug suit on. Sharks with friggin' lasers on their head. Yeah, exactly. They come in L1 and L2. I don't know if they have L3s. That I'm not sure. Let's close out of here. Let's actually find out. Whoops, maybe I can't. What's going? Oh, it's because this is another page that opened from the initial. All right, we know it's a laser. All right, let's go laser, sailing, boat. Let's just put, we'll put L3. We'll see if we got anything here. Let's take a look here. Let's see, a level 3 laser. All right, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, laser, there we go. I don't think I've never been on a laser. Like I said, everything that I've sailed were petrols. Rory, those very same sharks were spotted in Lake Winnipeg. Sharks and Bigfoot. Bigfoot water skiing behind a shark. There we go. That would be the perfect thing. That would be the perfect thing. Oh, with a beaver on its shoulder. Oh boy. You can have freshwater sharks. I don't know if we have any in the Great Lakes. Oh gosh. All right, let's find out. All right, freshwater sharks in Canada. I'll put where. Let's just see. Why not? So no, there's none in Canada. Yeah, okay. So yeah, other than I have heard at one point, I think, you know, there's been some sharks that have come pretty far up the St. Lawrence River. But yeah, like you could get a bull shark up there. And I imagine as we get the warmer and warmer, we could certainly have more sharks. Actually, Nova Scotia has been, you know, they've been seeing a lot of great whites around Nova Scotia. So, you know, what can you do? Fonzie Bigfoot jumped the laser shark. I love it. I love it. We already proved that Bigfoot was just Brian walking around barefoot in the woods. Yeah. I don't even think he's here to defend himself. Poor Brian. But yeah. Well, no sharks with lasers, but rumor has it there are kamikaze dolphins in the strait. I've heard that. I've heard that. Yeah, and the funny thing is, you know, it's not as crazy as it sounds. They actually had a lot of research around using dolphins for, you know, putting mines on things. The only problem with them, and this is why I think a lot of countries kind of haven't done it, is that a dolphin doesn't know the difference between your ship and the enemy ship. So the dolphin can put the bomb on your own ship. Hammerhead sharks are freshwater. I don't think so, Scott. You know, unless there was, you know what? Let's take a look here. Because yeah, I thought hammerhead were exclusively. All right, hammerhead shark. Let's just take a look. Freshwater. I've never heard of one being in fresh water. Now, I could be completely wrong. Are there freshwater hammerhead sharks? Uh, okay, so, okay, yeah, they can venture into fresh water. All right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, a lot, like the whole idea of Jaws. So the movie Jaws, it was inspired by, I believe it was a story, it was actually a bull shark that went really deep into a river system in New Jersey and apparently, caused a lot of chaos, and that inspired Peter Benchley to write Jaws. Rory says the bonsai dolphins. Tiger sharks are known to visit freshwater. Yeah, I think any of the any shark that is pretty much coastal sharks, so bull sharks, tiger sharks. Yeah, I think those you will definitely, and apparently hammerhead. I think those can venture fairly deep into. I mean, but they can't stay there forever. I mean, I think they would die if they stayed there for too long. But I think they can go in for for a little bit. Now, there are situations where, like, I think Loch Ness, for some reason, I think Loch Ness has a freshwater shark in it, but I could be wrong. Oh boy, now we need to take a look. Let's see, Loch Ness freshwater shark. All right, let's find out. Yeah, exactly. Paul is like, Sunday show, Candace Google stuff. That's kind of what we're doing. Okay, apparently there's not. Now, I had seen, it's funny, I watched a bunch of these crazy documentaries as a kid. There was one saying that there was landlocked sharks that could be the Loch Ness Monster, but apparently not. Apparently not. Let's see, a shark is a type of boat as well. I sailed those two, still prefer the lasers. Loch Ness is landlocked. There would not be sharks. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're getting at. Well, I think one of the theories at one point is some people were thinking that there was a tunnel system that went back to the ocean, but once again, no proof of it. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people who want to prove that the Loch Ness Monster exists come up with a lot of theories. And I mean, we've got our own Loch Ness Monster here in Canada. It's what is it? The Ogopogo Monster, which is in it's in BC. It's in BC, right around. I think it goes all the way. I think it can go all the way up as far as Kelowna, from Kelowna all the way up to Kamloops, because Lake Okanoga, or whatever you call that lake, it's a big lake. It's a big lake. Rory says Alberta is landlocked too. No sharks, no ocean, no path for a pipeline. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that. I really want to see that pipeline, Rory. At least we're moving in the right direction. So let's see it. I mean, if they break the ground next year in 2027, I will be thrilled. Let's see. Sharks could swim up the pipeline from BC. I, I I don't know. I don't think so. You know. um, well, you know what? There have been sharks seen in Calgary. Now, those are a special type of shark. I think they're called the San Jose sharks. But yeah, what can I say? Oh God, we have a game 7 tomorrow night. Who would have? I did not want to see that. Like, I'm worried. I'm actually worried for Montreal now because, oh boy, they were shellacked last night. They were shellacked. Definitely their worst defeat of the playoffs, and this is kind of now Buffalo's game to lose, not so much Montreal's game to win. But neither. I guess you could also say no matter who wins, they're going up against an 8-0 Carolina. So who can beat them? Now, I did hear some commentators say that they thought Montreal had a better chance at Carolina than Buffalo, but what's a better chance, right? Rory, Steve Gutbergs is turning the Sharks around. Oh, there we go. There's also a bunch of vacuum cleaners called Shark. Yeah. Isn't there like a shark? No, that's I'm thinking of the devil. Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, they're undefeated after a loss in the playoffs so far, I think. Well, yeah, no, they've replied well. They have replied well, and I'm hoping. I'm still hoping. I'm still hoping. I'm still, I'm still cheering. I'm, I'm not throwing my hands up and saying, "Oh well." Now, mind you, if we go into Monday night and we have a first period and they're down like 5-0, then I might be like, oh. But I'll hold on to the last minute. To the last minute. All right. Roy says, I bet Gary Bettman is happy. Maybe. Maybe. Well, yeah, I mean, they like, the NHL has been very much about trying to increase its popularity in the United States. So anytime Canadians fall out of the playoffs, Gary Bettman gets his wings or something like that. Stephen Gilbro, Candace, not very like here. Gilbo. Is that how you say it? All right, Gilbo. I don't even know who he is. Um, let's see. Turn the Shark Around was Gloria Estefan. Oh, okay. And that was she was the one with the Miami Sound Machine, right? Turn the Shark Around. Yeah, why not? Guys, holy cow. We've kind of left the realm of finance like 30 minutes ago. Just putting that out there, but I don't care. It's a holiday weekend, guys. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I don't care. We can talk about finance. We can continue talking about sharks. Nothing's off the table. We'll just talk about whatever you guys want. I'm good. I'm gonna have some coffee. All right, that's good. That is definitely good. Holy cow. All right. So Gloria Stefan. What was the big song? Rhythm is Gonna Get You, I think. Yep. So yeah, I'm trying to think. There was a couple more, but oh well. 80s music. 80s music was actually was absolutely pretty awesome. So I definitely got to say that. Let's see. Rory says bank. I have a limit order for 1045. Too high. 1045. You mean to sell? Is that what you're thinking? Where's bank at right now? I thought that they were at like 10, I don't know, 1016, something like that. Bank. Let's see here. Oh, 1049. Oh, wow. Okay, bank's way up there. Oh, they've had a good month. I don't know. Um, so okay, you want to buy it at 1045. Um, if we get, if you keep that order going at 1045, I think you will eventually fill it. Because look at, I mean, we got that volatility. We're going to have spikes down for sure. So, yeah, you would eventually sell it. But I think if you're looking to get in fairly soon as a DCA, I would almost say 1046 would probably be a safer limit. Because I can bet you with 1045, it'll probably come down to 1046 and then go back up on you. You could try 1045. Now keep in mind, too, Rory, sure you'd like it at 1045. But you could always sort of say, let's say let's say you're planning to buy 100 shares. You could always put in 50 of them at 1045 and then 50 at 1046 as kind of a compromise. So that's a thought. All right, and we got those are sharks to buy. Just a DCA in, yeah, exactly. So I don't know. What can I say? Holy banana bread. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh, I finally changed my blankets out. So I think I mentioned before, I got this big, really thick duvet that's warm as can be through the winter. I finally, now with this little heat wave we got here, and it looks like things are going to stay warm for a bit, I have finally switched over to summer blankets. So, and now it's kind of funny because my winter blankets are about 3 times the weight of my summer blankets. So now it feels like I've got no blankets on because the summer blankets are so light, but I'll get used to them. I will definitely get used to them for sure. Oh boy. All right. Now, guys, I guess it's up to me to come up with a topic then. If you guys don't have anything for me, Um, oh, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is that? And it was just, oh, it's a delay. So it was actually me scrolling there for how far behind is that? I don't know. Let's see. Scott says, if you're buying covered call ETFs for income, would you suggest turning drip on for a couple of months to cover off inflation? It's yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, obviously, you have to look at it a couple of ways. So, if you're using those covered call ETFs for income, obviously, if you need that money, take the money. If you're living off of it, you want to still be able to meet your needs. But yeah, if you have anything left over, you could do that. Now, the problem with drip, I think with Wealthsimple is, and I don't know if they've changed this yet or not. I heard rumors that they were going to change it, but I think it's all or nothing. So once you can turn it on for like specific ones, then you can sort of be more strategic with it. Like right now, I do have drip turned on just because, right now the only thing that goes in there is when somebody signs up on Wealthsimple using my affiliate code. They get 25 bucks, I get 25 bucks. That goes into that account. And there's not a lot in there, but I just throw drip on and for it, just, let's just keep it going. Mario says, what do you think about options trading? Is it a good time for that now? How profit could be? All right. I don't do it. I'll tell you why. Um, I'm totally happy letting fund managers, people with a lot of experience, do it for me. So, that's what you're getting. When you look at a fund like HDIV, the guys who are doing the covered calls in there, they're really, really good. They know what they're doing. So I'm happy enough to let them do it. I'm happy, more than happy. If you want to do it yourself. So here's the thing. I mean, you look at the amount of work. Like if you take a covered call fund like HDIV, um, you know, HDIV of course has a bunch of funds, and each of those ETFs within it, because it's a fund to funds, they have their covered calls. So if one of those funds has 30 stocks in it, you're going to be writing covered calls on, you may not do all 30. You're going to probably be writing on the most volatile that are in there. So, if you have one that's super volatile, that you might be writing on 100% of that one stock. But, up to a maximum of, maybe depending on the fund, I think this one's a 25%, up to a maximum of 25% of the total fund. So yeah, I kind of look at it that way, that I would just rather do it myself. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing it. And I'll just say, don't start. I mean, yeah, you sort of you have a limit to what you can do, but I would say just take it sort of easy, maybe. If you're starting it, just sort of, play a little bit, make trades that you can afford for them to go sideways on you, until you get a bit more of a feel for it. So in a way, kind of the same approach I would take to swing trading. If you're new to swing trading, don't be shooting for the moon all the time. Just take it easy. Nice, simple, very easy swing trades, smaller swing trades, until you got a feel for what you're doing and, you're a little more confident. I would take the same approach, I think, to options trading. But yeah, is it a good time? Well, if there's volatility, and right now there is volatility, you'll have no problem selling contracts, but that volatility can work in both directions, right? Because you've got a lot more volatility, it can be very easy for strike prices to get hit. Um, there is that. There is that as well, just to sort of keep in mind. And TT3 says oil. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. I asked ChatGPT about CNQ possibly paying out a special div. It says it's more likely an increase in quarterly div, which is okay too. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say, yeah, in the case of CNQ, I would probably say, yeah, they probably would just increase their dividend. Out of most of the oil companies, the only one that really has a history of it has been Torlamine. So that might be one possibility. Scott says, yes, Wealthsimple does all or nothing. I'm not exclusively Wealthsimple and Drip. It also avoids the fees from the other broker. Okay, fair enough. Now, yeah, and here's the thing. If you could get a discount with a Drip, and I believe that when you're looking at drips in the US, I think you can actually With some brokers, you'll actually get, you end up paying a tiny bit more if you drip. Then drip becomes much more viable. If you can get a discount, yeah, of course, drip would be kind of good. All right. Anyone else in Max? It is ripping now. Thought about taking my investment out and letting the rest ride for a while. All right, let's take a look. All right, here we go. Max Power Mining. Here we go. Right here. All right. So yeah, it's a little company, but let's take a look and see what they've done. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah, this is fantastic. Like, quite literally, this was a penny stock. And, if you've got a significant amount in here, I think taking profits is not a bad idea. There's because right now, mining has been retreating. So you might get, if mining keeps struggling, you could see a pullback on this. So I would say, yeah, I would say probably a good idea. I mean, you still have to make up your own mind, of course, but I would take profits on this one. But of course, I probably wouldn't be in this one to begin with, just because I try not to, I try to stay out of penny stocks. And even though you could argue, oh, but Candace, look, it's 255. That's not a penny stock. But it hasn't been, once I can't see pennies in that 1 year anymore, then I'm okay. Then I'm like, yeah, it's a penny adjacent, or maybe depending on how long you look at something like Diversified Royalty. They were at like $2 something for the longest time. They're much more now, but I was still okay with that. All right, now let's have more coffee. That was good. All right, Scott. Also, the idea of turning on drip for a couple of months would be to stagger which ETFs to do it to in order to minimize the impact of the lower income that month. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. No, I mean, if you have that ability to do that, if it doesn't impact your life too badly, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's see. Path says, do you know of any free budgeting long-term planning software? Oh boy. I don't personally, only because I tend to do everything myself in Excel. But with that being said, if you were to play around with something like ChatGPT, you could probably get ChatGPT to design something for you. Now, mind you, it might take a little bit as you have to really explain it well. But I've seen people who pulled off stuff like that. Not myself, because I just, like I said, I play with Excel. Um, but there might be, yeah, might be able to create something in there. I mean, basically, because what you would want to do, so if you were going to go to ChatGPT, you would basically say, okay, these are the fields I need. This is the data I need to track. These are the results I'm looking for. So make sure you spell everything out. Like your prompt might be a couple of paragraphs with all of your needs. But if you do that, you'd be surprised what you can pull out from AI nowadays. Holy banana bread. Now, Scott says projection lab, so that might be something worth checking out too. And Rory says, I use free open office for budget, spreadsheets for stocks, assets, dividend dates, snowball analytics might be useful. Yeah, so there we go. So there's some other options as well. Yeah, and that's the thing. And there's also Google, like Google Sheets as well. That might be something like you can, that's another spreadsheet. It can do pretty much, I think Google Sheets can pretty much do everything that Excel can, except for maybe Visual Basic. But yeah, if you if you need to use Visual Basic, you probably won't. I've only had to use it once, really. Um, all right. Oh, I'm caught up again. Caught up again. What can I say? Holy banana bread. Yeah, so. Oh, and now I'm kind of curious. You know what? I mean, we could ask. Let me just see here. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to very quickly I'm going to throw your thing in just because ChatGPT might have a couple of suggestions. I'm just kind of curious. Let's just see what she might think or it might think or what. It's so, yeah, it's fun. Let's see here. All right, give me a second. We'll see what Chat GPT thinks. Um, uh, uh, uh. Mm-hmm. Okay, it just told me what I put. It told me that it was that I put a question there. Oh boy. All right. Do you know of any free software for this user? All right. Well, we'll see if we get something. I don't know. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so there's a few different ones here, and I've not heard of any of these. So take these with a grain of salt. Um, there's something called Every Dollar. So apparently it has a free version, and it's pretty easy to use for monthly budgeting. There's also a pretty decent free tier at Good Budget. All right, so those are the easier ones to use. Now here's a couple that are actually completely free and open source. There's one called Actual Budget. And it says it's actually, she says that it is one of the best free open source budgeting apps right now. Very privacy focused and surprisingly powerful. Another is GNU Cash, GNU. More advanced and accounting oriented, but extremely capable for long-term tracking and planning. All right, so those go good. Oh, and another one she said as well is that a really Canadian-friendly option is Wealthica. So maybe check out Wealthica. Apparently, you can even connect it to your brokerage to help import information. So that might be another option as well. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Scott. I'm old school as well on that. We could play bingo or look at people's Blossom portfolios. Bingo. Actually, yeah, the 31st, we're going to do bingo. Pathfinder. Actually, honestly, if it helps protect CAD taxes and retirement planning, I wouldn't mind paying a bit for it. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Advice is pretty cheap for retirement planning. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of people out there that give really good retirement advice. I can give basic advice on retirement, but there are some people that cater to it. Like there's some channels that absolutely 100% cater to retirement. Like I think Parallel Wealth, if I remember correctly, I think they're very retirement oriented. Um, all of that fun stuff. Let's see. That's not a typo. What's not a typo? Oh, advice. Oh, ADVII. Okay, all right. I see it. All right, I understand. There we go. So advice is another one as well. I think there's a lot. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of options. I would try a few. You know, Wealthica sounds like it could actually. I think I've heard some people say that they liked Wealthica. So, but I have not tried it. So, I'm kind of sending you in there blind. But I don't know. I'm just like I said, I'm a spreadsheet geek. I like spreadsheets like a lot. I mean, quite literally. Here, let me show you something. All right, here we go. So this here is this is my my YouTube channel spreadsheet. So there's every video that's ever been made, and actually you can see, guys. Here's exactly how much each video has made. So 5 cover call ETFs for tough times made me $21.30. So I don't get much for each video, but I mean, obviously, it is what it is. And then I also got all the live streams in here as well. Now I haven't actually entered all of the cash information yet on the live streams. Shorts, although I haven't made, actually the last short I made was, oh my God, it's almost been a year. I probably should make a short. I can't go a whole year without a short. So June 5th. All right, I have to make a short before June 5th, guys. I can't, oh my God, is it that long? Oh boy. These are the top money makers on the channel. So this is kind of crazy, guys. I made this video a long time ago on PHX Energy. And all of a sudden, it just started picking up a lot of viewers, like in the last 6 months. And now it's made like $185. I'm like, what's going on with that? And, and it's an older video. I'm like, I should almost make an updated version, other than the fact that I don't think anybody would watch it. But what can I say? But it has made more money than my OAS video. So what can I say? What is this? Oh, this is a master spreadsheet that shows you when every sub on the channel has popped in. I told you, if you can give me an excuse, and then I have the same thing for every view on the channel. So right now, as of yesterday, guys, in case you're curious, we've had 1,388,173 views. There we go. Average per month. This is just an average per month and how each month is doing. So, and you can see there's the months that are still yet to come this year. Each year is color coded. All right, and then this is just sub projection. Like, hey, I'm kind of curious to say how track am I on to, to make a certain sub goal type thing. So anyway, yeah, the whole point is I am a geek when it comes to spreadsheets. So what can I say? All right. Only on a Sunday. Let's see, the app. It's May 24, time to get out the shorts. Yeah. Shorts are good. May Retire is totally free and web-based. Oh, here we go. That's a good one, Roku. I don't know that one, but, I like the name of it. Pathfinder says, awesome, thank you. Put com on the end of May Retire. So yeah, mayretire.com. Actually, here, let's take a look at it. Why not? Here we go. mayretire.com. All right, here we are. Take control of your retirement planning. Look at this, and they got charts. Yeah, start planning for free. Minimal complexity, maximum clarity. All right, there we go. So there's a possibility right there. They're getting a free promo. Look at this. Guys, you're getting a free promo. Here, let's look at the features. Oh, they're right here. So let's see, complete income modeling, flexible spending stages, professional standards, strategic withdrawal control, risk and reality testing, private and portable. All right, those sound pretty good. YouTube won't let me type dot. Oh, maybe, why would it not let you do that? Unless it's caught on that people will type in dot as, for the, I wonder if YouTube's caught on and said, this is the way people are trying to sneak web addresses into live streams. Oh, boy. You know what? Let's give you guys a new convention. If you want to put the .com, don't just do that. Just, type, maybe put it in brackets. If it's different. If it's com, I wouldn't even worry about it. That's what we're all going to assume it's com unless you tell us differently. But let's say it was org. You could type in, like, you could do it something like this here. And then if it were org, and then do it like that. So May Retire, and then put org in brackets. That way there we know which one it is. And everybody should, you guys are all smart. So you'll know just to put in a .org. So that might be a way to do it. Anyway, just a thought. Any way to get around YouTube canceling a comment, because to me that would be frustrating. It's like, no, especially if I typed a long one. So, just a thought. Let's go back to the days of Dogpile. I know. Dogpile. I miss you, Dogpile. I don't miss GeoCities though. But yeah, no, I had a website on Angel Fire at one point, and yeah, like I've had a whole bunch of different websites over the years. Eventually, I just got my own domain and had everything there. Actually, right now I don't have, like, I still own my domain. I just don't have anything on it. Like, I don't even have a server attached to it at the moment. It just basically I have a back-end email server. So, and I have a back-end email server as well for the, for people who contact me at admin at mountainfinance.ca. That just goes through a back end. Mayretire.m. Oh, that actually let you do that. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Sometimes you just by putting that dot in there, it sometimes will mess you up. But there we go. Scott has a mayretire.moc. Roku says, I want to sign up for AOL, but my 3.5 floppy isn't working anymore. I liked it when they switched to the CDs. At one point, I was collecting those CDs because I was taking the back end, which were all nice and shiny, and I made a small little one of my walls. I put a whole bunch of them up there, so it was almost like a funky mirror. It was actually pretty cool. But I will tell you a funny AOL story. I got a call once back in my early days with Compaq. Before I finally got promoted. Mind you, it took me 6 months to get promoted, but in my first 6 months, I got this call because I was doing the phones, front line, and I had a guy who called up and says, "Yeah," he says, "I wanna hook up to the internet." I was like, "Oh, great, great." And he says, "Yeah," he says, "I got the disc from AOL, and I wanna," but he says, "I'm thinking about it, but what is the?" He says, "What is the internet?" And I was like, "Oh boy, that's a big question." And I said, "The better question is, what isn't the internet?" And he's like, "Oh, well, all right. Well, let's set it up and we'll go from there." I said, "All right, great, great. All right. Are you sitting at your computer?" And then all of a sudden he says, "A computer? What's that?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. I thought you said you wanted to hook up to the internet." He says, "Yeah, yeah. I got the CD right here." And I'm like, "But you don't own a computer?" And he's like, "No, no. I just got the CD." I was like, "Oh." I had to explain to him that he had to actually buy a computer to set up to the internet. Anyway, yeah, it was the early days, but it was funny. Rory says that's a bummer. Anyone got Wow CDs? Oh yeah, they used to have the CDs way back in the day. I wonder what the last expansion was that had CDs. Um, for some reason, well, you could probably still get the CDs for some, but I'm thinking like I don't remember seeing. I remember regular WoW, Burning Crusade. I don't know what happened after that. Well, no. I think they still had CDs for Wrath of the Lich King, but I'm not sure about Cataclysm. Oh boy. Rory says, "Can I upgrade an Apple IIe for the internet? Maybe AI could figure it out." There you go. What do you think about SpaceX? Oh, SpaceX. It's getting close. So right now, the biggest rumor, and it's kind of like it's a rumor that has less salt than most rumors, is June 11th. So it looks like they want to get SpaceX put out pretty fast. I think it's going to be big. I think it will absolutely be big. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. But quite literally less than a month until we have SpaceX. Mark says YTSL. Oh boy. So YTSL, they've actually they haven't done that great this year. Here, but let me take a look. I haven't looked at them in a while, but let's YTSL. Here we go. So yeah, oh boy, they were down 4.71 the other day, but I'll just pull up the 1 year. Yeah, so since the beginning of this year, it's been a pretty big downward trip. Now, mind you, you are getting paid. Actually, this one doesn't even show what the distribution is. You're still getting, you still get half decent dividends with it, and I like Tesla overall. But and here's the thing. Let's look at this direction, and I want to pull up one other thing here. Let's duplicate the tab, and let's just bring up Tesla. Just the regular US Tesla. There we go. Perfect. Let's bring up that 1 year. All right. So this to me is very, very important. So when I look at something like this, when I see that initially, I'm not happy because it's going down. But here's the big but. Some people will say, some people will look at this and they'll say, oh, it's NAV erosion. Look at that. Well, you got to compare it to what Tesla's doing. And when you look at this, it's the exact same thing. So from this perspective, this ETF is doing exactly what it should be doing. And that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. So yeah, you are still getting, you're still getting your income while this is going. And look at the recovery. And this is the beautiful part. When Tesla had this, like Tesla's been on a bit of a recovery here since, well, April. But look at this. Look at that movement. Look at this one. It has caught. Like, yeah, there's probably some lost upside, but it has still caught it. So it's moving in the right direction. It's moving with the asset. That's what I want to see. So yeah, I don't mind this one. There's nothing wrong with this one. It's doing exactly what it should be. And you are getting some income here, which is great. I don't know if they, from looking at this movement, I almost feel like they might be slightly out of the money. But, that I don't know 100%. But they are still doing good. They're still doing fantastic. All right. You can hook up a Commodore 64 to the internet. I'd like that. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. Now, I wonder what I don't. Well, you probably could still. I was thinking of like a VIC-20. You probably could still do that for sure. And we got Friggin in the house with Johnny on the spots, CA. So there we are. There's another way. Just don't even put the dot. Just put that space in the CA. That way there, when, you want to get to Johnny on the spots. And this here, this is actually, I'm going to go to this website here because this, I believe this is Friggin's website. I think it is. So, basically, Friggin has, oops, I better spell this right. All right, Johnnny, Johnny on the spot with an S.ca. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm missing an E. I'm missing an E. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Johnny on the spot. So this is an app. Friggin has built an app. So if you are out and about and you're looking for a bathroom, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm just saying. My mom could use this because my mom, when she's gotta go, it becomes an ordeal trying to find a bathroom. So this here is a app that will let you know where those closest bathrooms are for public use. So yeah, this is a fantastic app. How is it doing so far, Friggin? Kind of curious. I heard it. Yeah, I heard on Friggin has a show on Friday night, and I heard him talking about this one night, and I was just like, this is a great idea. Like, I don't know why this has not come out before. Before this. But yeah, and this is, honestly, if you're traveling, this is probably a really good, this is a great idea. It's a great idea. Absolutely. Good job, Ken. Oroku said, we used to grab a few 3.5 AOL floppies from the computer stores and just tape over the little square and keep you from writing over them. That's not a bad idea, Roku. That's not a bad idea. Ooh. Rory, wow, time waster. You're playing this and missing out on the stock opportunities. Scott says, I used to notch single-sided 3.5-inch floppies to flip them over and use the other side. Yeah. Yeah, I think I used to do that too. 3.25, been too long. I know. I had an Amiga 500. I loved it. All right. I used to play Bard's Tale and tinker with the BASIC. I think I know Bard's Tale, yeah. I know BASIC used to be fun. We used to, play with it. There used to be on some of the old pets, there used to be this, what was it? Oh my God, I'm trying to remember. There used to be these codes that you could put into them. And I don't know if it was it a poke or a peek? Something like that. But what you would do is you would basically create a time loop. So, basically go, 10, do this, execute this, and then add a number to it. And if it's equal to, like, say, 20 or something, or maybe it's 100, then you would move on. But until then, it puts it in a loop. So that way there you could activate it and run out. But once this peak or poke or whatever it was called activated, the pets used to make this huge sound and it would just start going ee. And the computer science guy would be running like crazy trying to find which one it was. Because apparently if it kept going, it could actually damage the computer. But I never did it. I only heard of people doing it. But yeah, anyway, there was just that weird thing. And I'm trying to, was it called a poke? It was something, some code that you would put in. Scott says, I used to decompile programs to learn machine language subroutines and use them in my own programs. Okay. C and C+, I tinkered with it. All right, and Friggin says, slow and steady, working on QR code stickers for updating toilet conditions. If you click on a toilet map locator, you can get a bit of an idea of use. Oh, can I do that right now? I don't think I can on here. But yeah, no, I like this idea. I really like this idea. And you know what? I think the cleanliness part is really awesome too, because, you know, if you click on the one nearest you and it says, oh my God, this is the worst bathroom I've ever been in, you know, the CDC should be here, then, you know, maybe check the next one because it might be better. Oh my gosh. Samantha says, my cat just ran out of the room when you made that sound. I'm so sorry to your poor cat. Scott says the same, and I don't have a cat. Okay. You know what, Samantha? Samantha, your cat just made me laugh. So I'm going to give your cat the laughing goat. Samantha's cat earns the laughing goat. This is the first non-viewer of the stream to win the laughing goat. So that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I love it. I love it. What is, Samantha, what is your cat's name? What is your cat's name? Nicholas says, if you were to buy only one stock or ETF till the end of May, what would it be? Same question for June. All right. Well, I think it would be the same stock, to be honest. If I could only buy one stock right now, it's a simple, easy answer here. Let me... Oh, darn it. I didn't save it, did I? Nope, I didn't. CMCL. So CMCL. Just give me a sec. Let's go over here once again. So this is a brand new one. This is this is the non-covered call version. This is CMCC. Now this one here, this one is monthly. So this was just the regular covered call version. But give me a second here. Let's pull up the other one, CMCL. Here we go. This time I'm going to actually save it. All right, let's do that. I'm going to bring it over here. There we go. CMCL. There we go. And I'll put that into my bookmarks later. But okay, yeah, first of all, this one will have a little bit of leverage on it, which is fantastic. That will make things, that will basically help with some of the lost upside. But this is Global X, so I do expect it to be out of the money. It is semi-monthly, which is just a bonus. I wasn't really expecting semi-monthly. I would have still loved it if it was not semi-monthly, if it was just monthly. We don't have a lot of information yet. We don't know how far out of the money it will be. But I am really, really excited about this because this hits into that full materials sector because it's got copper, it's got silver, it's got gold, it's got uranium, it's got lithium. It's just, you know, it's just really, really, really in a spot that I'm very bullish. So yeah, right now, yeah, this would be, if I could only have one, this would be the one I'd be stacking up on. Okay, so that cat was Kibbles. Scott says it's the other one called Bits, Kibbles and Bits. Vincent Price. Oh, that's crafty. That is so crafty. So that's the one where you want to have Vincent Price in a window, thunder and lightning in the backgrounds while it plays that part of Thriller where, you know, creatures crawl from beneath the whatever to terrorize your neighborhood. That part, you know, that's what you want. All right. Spooky. Bits and Bytes Computer Store, 1987. Actually, there used to be, I think it was on PBS, there used to be a show called Bits and Bytes. It was basically kind of like, hey guys, computers are here. Let's teach you a little bit about them. Actually, I wonder. I'm kind of curious now if whatever happened to it. Let's see, Bits and Bytes TV show. Let's just see if it's still here. Yeah, this is it right here. Bits and Bytes. There we go. I just wanted an image here for you guys. But yeah, it was Bits and Bytes. I remember this. Anyway, yeah, it was it was a TV show. And they would basically give you a little tutorial on what's going on, getting ready because computers are coming. And it's actually funny. I remember back in the day, I'd watch shows like this and I'd be like, yeah, everybody will have a computer one day. And my mom was like, no, that they're not going to catch on like that. Don't talk silly. Nobody's going to, no, it's not going to be that way. And it's like, yeah, okay. I think I was right. I think it would be hard pressed to find anybody right now who doesn't own a computer. maybe, yeah, there might be some tribes out in the middle of, in the middle of the forest, but, who doesn't have a computer nowadays? Like, who really doesn't have a computer? So yeah, interesting. Yeah, and I remember the woman there, because that was the Bits and Byte woman, whatever her name is. I don't know. Oh, it's actually Canadian too, guys. Look at this. Okay. No, there we go. Oh, that's Lupa. That is Lupa. Okay. There we go. So I think, didn't she end up on Royal Canadian Air Force? I think that's where she ended up going. But that was her before Royal Canadian Air Force. All right. Yeah, there you go. Luba Goy was on Bits and Bytes. All right, cool. Samantha says, Kibbles is the latest cat. Maybe the next one will be Bits. There you go. Yeah, I like that, Kibbles and Bits. That's pretty cool. All right, and let's see. Kibbles is in my profile picture. Ah, there we go. So the black cat is Kibbles. You see, and I would have thought the black cat would have been, your Vincent one. But that's fine. Those computer shows were terrible. Yeah, of course they were. But, at the time, what options did you have? It was pretty much the only computer programming you really had way back. Is that Billy Van from Hilarious House of Frightenstein? That's a good question. I do not know who that guy is. Maybe. Dotto's Data Cafe on TVO. There we go. Hello, computer. Just use the keyboard. The keyboard. How quaint. I know. How do you know he didn't invent it? Invent what? This I don't know. What? The Hilarious House of Frankenstein? Vincent Price is black too. Okay, so you have a few. Oh, right. The transparent aluminum. Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Yeah. That was actually a pretty good movie. That was actually one of the more funnier of the Star Trek movies for sure. What can I say? Holy cow. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Bits and Bytes. There we go. We are so off the rail today, guys. Like, we're really off the rail. But like I said, it's fine. How many times have I said It's because we're just going wherever. Guys, give me a topic, we'll talk about it. There we go. That's the day. That's the order of the day. Nuclear vessels. That was good too. Do you fly? Oh, here and there, Sulu. Yeah. Oops. Coffee time. Oh gosh, that was good. That was definitely good. I'm running out of coffee, guys. Actually, I've been going through it a bit faster than normal, so I've got to slow down. I got to slow down, otherwise, otherwise I will not have any left by the end of the show. So yeah. Oh well. But all right, yeah, Bits and Bytes. What can I say? There we go. I have not actually thought about. I didn't even think about this show for like. I probably haven't even thought about this show for maybe 20 years or more. What can I say? All right, Bits and Bytes. Holy cow. All right, I can't believe we ended up there, but Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. Those of you, by the way, those of you who are not channel members, this is kind of what we do on the after office hours. We just sort of talk, chat about anything, everything. It doesn't matter. We just do it. It was no reboot. Reboot. Yeah, that was the first CGI show. I think that was on YTV. If you guys remember, those of you who remember YTV. I mean, YTV had some interesting shows on it. You know, uh, I know I used to watch, actually a couple of shows I used to watch. I used to watch My Secret Identity. That was kind of like I think that was kind of the vehicle for Jerry O'Connell to break out as a kid. So, I guess a lot of people don't know he started as a kid actor. There used to be another show called The Secret World of Alex Mack, and I thought that was kind of a cool show. But, you know, those are, those are the type of shows that's like, bring those back now with the technology we have today. They'd be The Secret World of Alex Mack would be really good, I think. And also make it a little less, I don't want to say make it a little less Canadian, but make it a little, a little more modernized. LTT is restoring the masters from the original tapes. Oh, okay. There we go. We're talking reboot, right? Yeah, that'd be interesting. Now reboot actually looked pretty good. Now I I didn't watch reboot, but I seen the commercials a lot. But yeah, no, the computer generation and it looked really, really, really solid, really. And it's funny. And nowadays we don't even talk about CGI anymore. Nobody's concerned. Everybody now is concerned about AI. And I've seen some stuff. I've been seeing stuff lately that's actually been pretty good. Actually, it's funny. So anybody who watches The Mandalorian, hopefully this is not a spoiler warning, but at the end of season 2, a certain original trilogy character shows up. It was surprising at the time, but in hindsight, you look at it, you're like, it wasn't that good. But now people have been making a whole bunch of these AI videos where they've been, creating extra scenes for what happened right after Return of the Jedi and that. And I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, you know what? This is better than what Disney pulled off on The Mandalorian. A lot of them really are. So it's getting to the point. And today, quite literally, guys, today I was watching a video and I didn't even figure out until about 15 minutes in that it was, that the person moderating it was AI. That's how good they're getting. It took me 15 minutes to figure it out. So, oh boy. Scott said the tape machines they used are all but gone. Pretty much impossible to get parts to make a working one. Well, yeah, but couldn't you 3D print a part for like an old machine? Like that's what I've kind of figured. Like if you've got a machine where nobody makes the part anymore, is it something you can just 3D print? Maybe, or, sort of figure out. And that's actually interesting. Like I heard, well, here's the thing. I heard some people talking about, what was it? One of the big things. Oh, what? No electric parts, no electronic parts. Oh, okay. So the electronic parts is probably much harder to do then. But why would it be? Can't, I wonder if we add AI to a 3D printer, if you could make, I mean, obviously, yes, they'd have to, you have to have the conductivity in there. So you'd have to be able to print. Could you print copper? I mean, why couldn't you print copper? I mean, you'd have to have copper to print, of course, but, yeah, you see, now you got me going. You got me going. I'm not sure. I just feel, though, like you should be able to print copper. It might be a current limitation. Maybe we just need to make 3D printers better, because that's kind of like, it's really interesting. Like, one of the ways I see the future is when we look at stores. You go in, you want some shoes. You go to Nike, you buy your shoes, you wear them home, or, if you're like me, you might change them in the car and, because you want to wear them right away. But, anyway, yeah, that's kind of one interesting thing. But here's another thought. With 3D printers, we could get to a point where you wouldn't even buy Nike in the store anymore. What you'd be doing is you'd buy the pattern for Nike. And it might be a one-time use pattern. So you buy the pattern, you print off your Nike shoes, you got your shoes. Then you can only use it once. And you'd have to, if you want more Nike shoes, you'd have to buy the pattern again. Just something I was thinking. Or maybe what if they're subscription shoes? So what if you subscribe to your Nike pattern, and then that way there, every time, whenever you need new Nikes, you can just print them off because you're already subscribed. So they're getting a monthly fee from you, but you can print sneakers off whenever you need them. So yeah, just a thought, because, it's not going to cost Nike anything for you to print the sneakers, because all you're renting is the pattern. So, gosh, that's actually a really good idea. Have you did any portfolio? I was gone a bit. Mark. Give me a second. Let me pull up. No, I haven't done anything yet. I was kind of waiting to see if you were going to show up. All right, give me a second. I'm going to pull up your portfolio, but I'm just going to go big screen for a moment, guys, just because, I don't want to be showing all of the private messages. Give me a second here as I get... All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. We got Mark in here. Perfect. Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to, let me get rid of here. All right. Yeah, normally with these, I like, if somebody wants me to look at their portfolio, I like to have a little bit of notice. So I've been talking to Mark, and I said that I could do it today, but he had to let me know. He didn't let me know until, well, just very recently. So I haven't had a chance to really look at it, but that's fine. We'll look at it together. We're going to look at it together here. So guys, here, let me pull this up here. All right, so we got Mark over here on Blossom, first of all. So now Mark has 5 holdings. Is that all you have, Mark? It's just 5 holdings? All right, 5 holdings. All right, perfect. And I'm familiar with all of these, so fantastic. So, okay. So you guys will notice right away, you know how I show you guys my portfolio a lot, sometimes when I'm demonstrating what Blossom can do, and you see the dollar values. Well, when you look at somebody else's, you're only going to see percentages, and that's what we see here with Mark. So right now, looking at his portfolio, we can see right now his biggest holdings is HHIS, so the Harvest Diversified High Income. So yeah, this one here is holding all of their single stock high income shares. So a whole bunch of them. So right now, this sits here at a huge 60.4%. Now, what this is going to say right away about Mark's portfolio is that it's very much tied to what the NASDAQ is doing. So if tech has a bad day, so does Mark. Just because such a huge amount. So yeah, Mark is going to have a bad day when tech has a bad day. So all right, with that being said, let's see what else we got in here. We also have, all right, we got the DFN. So this is the Dividend 15 Split Core. So, and I like split cores. So this is a pretty good one. Actually, here, let me show you guys something. So one of the things you want to be aware of with this here is, let's go over here. So DFN. All right, here we go. So right here it is right here. Here's the Dividend 15 Split Core, 794. So this I want to be aware of, and I'll tell you why. Because here's the preferred. So these kind of work together. This is all one basket between the preferred and the split core, and that's priced at 1068. So basically, you add those together, you've got what, 1854? So that's an important number, because if that combined number falls below 15, they will suspend their dividend. That's the way split cores work. 15 tends to be that threshold, and almost every split core uses 15. I believe there might be 1 or 2 old ones that have a slightly different threshold, but all the ones we look at on the channel, definitely 15. So that's a thing to keep in mind, and that's something I would be paying attention to on this. Now, right now, there's not really any big danger of that happening, but if we were to head into a bear market, that might be a concern. And it depends. Like on the other side, the dividend comes back, of course, as soon as as soon as they get around that threshold. And why do they do that? Because preferred shares mean that they get paid first. So this here always gets paid before this one. And if there's nothing left, and generally if you fall under 15, there's nothing left. That's why they get suspended. So that's something to keep in mind with that. And oh, all right, and here, and just to pull up DFN for a moment here, I want to pull up the 1 year. You can see DFN has been doing really, really well. Now this one does hold 15 shares, and you'll sort of see right here, it gives you a little bit of information, or does it? I don't know. It's got a lot of the financials in here. So yeah, right down here, Bank of Montreal, Bank of Nova Scotia. You've also got some Enbridge in there. So basically 15 of the biggest companies in the country. So it's a solid, it's a very, very solid. So yeah, I like DFN. DFN is pretty solid. And that's 18.5% of Mark's portfolio. All right, so okay, we got this here, a little bit of solid. What I do like is this is completely different than HHIS. So, diversification-wise, this is bringing some diversification. Now we got Biggie. So Biggie, this is an interesting one. So this, of course, is the Evolve US equity, 17.5%. Now Biggie will have a certain level. Actually, if I click on Biggie here, let me pull this up. I don't know how much it's going to show me. Yeah, here we go. Oh, actually, perfect. You're going to see one thing here. You're going to see a lot of tech in here. Alphabet, Broadcom, Amazon, MicroStrategy, NVIDIA. So one of the things I will say here, and here, let's go back, is that Biggie is duplicating. So Biggie does duplicate a lot of what's in HHIS. So when we talk about being tech heavy, this Biggie pulls a lot more into that tech. So it does make tech even a little bit heavier, All right, now we got Canny. All right, Canny, fantastic. Obviously, this one is a lot of good Canadians companies. It does have aggressive ETFs. Now, at one point, I felt Canny wasn't living up to its potential, but it has turned that around. So it is producing income, bang, boom, straight up. That's fantastic. And then finally, we have MSTE. Now, MSTE is in HHIS, so there is some exposure here. But now there's a 0.0%. So I have a feeling that Mark doesn't have a lot of MSTE. If you got it at a nice cheap price too, that's fantastic. The big thing about MSTE though is you want to understand what it holds. Now, one of the things I do like is that you can say that this does add a bit of diversification because MSTE holds strategy. Strategy, well, their balance sheet is pretty much a lot of Bitcoin. So that's kind of more, I would call this one more a crypto exposure than a tech. So yes, you do have some in here, but this is just building up that crypto a little bit more. So yeah, right now, overall, looking at this portfolio, we're going to say that we've got a lot of tech. So if you are this is the thing, if you are very sure about tech, that's fine. Personally, I wouldn't go that high into tech myself. I like to try to keep I like to try to keep a sector under about 20%. Well, not under. 20 to 25 would be kind of my tops on most sectors. But that's me, and I have a very conservative approach. Now, also keep in mind, my investing style is growth income. So meaning I've got a hybrid style. So I want some growth, I want some income. Now this here is not a hybrid style. This is very much geared towards income. And that may be where you're coming from, Mark. So if you're coming from an income approach, you're going to get a lot of income out of this. And if this is all sitting in your TFSA, you're getting a good amount of tax-free income. I don't know if you're utilizing it, but what I would do, if this was my portfolio right now, and yeah, and let's say I was using income, if I had extra, if let's say I was producing a little more income than I really needed to use, I would probably look at buffering up a few of the, I would probably look at buffing up things like maybe Canny or DFN just to sort of lower that tech exposure a tiny bit. Because like I said, the only thing that's going to hurt is if we went into a bear market and it was led by tech, Last bear market, tech led the way in. This is going to hurt for a little bit, but I think it'll still be fine. I think it'll still be fine. Like you might see, if we got a pretty bad bear market, you might see that dividend get cut a little bit. So that would be something to keep in mind. But yeah, for the most part, I see what you're doing here. You're definitely got an income focus on here. So all of that fun stuff. Uh, and five it's not that hard to manage. Five, I would probably, depending on where things go, like one thing I don't see is I see zero exposure to materials, but you don't have to be in every sector. That's a big thing. I'm bullish on materials, so I have that material sector. So, but I think one thing that might be, and it's hard to say because I was going to say CMCL, but where you've got such a strong focus on, on your income, it's hard to say if that's going to be the right choice because you might have a bit of growth coming in there. But growth is not a bad thing. Growth is not a bad thing for sure. Um, yeah, biggie for C. Yeah, I would probably do that myself. That's what I would probably look at doing. Yeah, I would do that. Now you have to make up your own mind, of course, Mark. I can't tell you what to do, but that would be a move that I would consider. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, yeah, you've got a good stream of income coming. But I would wait, Mark, before you even pulled the trigger on something like that. I would still wait to find out what that dividend is going to look like. And make sure that that income is going to be high enough. Now, you are going to get with CMCL, you're going to get twice a month, which is great. And typically, so far, a lot of the companies that have done twice a month, they have really, they've been really aggressive. Now, Global X has not been aggressive to date. Will they become aggressive for this one? I don't think they're gonna, only because that's a sector where you want to milk some of that growth. So I don't think they're going to be super aggressive, but it could still be a nice counterbalance in there and give you a bit more exposure. All right. Yeah, so guys, if you want me to look at your portfolio, normally it takes longer. Normally there's like, 15, 20, 20 ETFs or so in there. But here, let me drop this in, guys. If you want me to look at your portfolio on air, all you got to do is message me over here on Blossom. So sign up, use this link down here. It'll pop up here in a moment. Yeah, just hook up with me and message me over there, and we'll set up a Sunday that we can do it. I am more than happy to look at your portfolios. Of course, you have to attach your portfolio, or at least manually enter your portfolio over on Blossom so that I can see it. And quite literally, guys, I mean, I like the fact that with that I'm seeing these percentages, so I got an idea of the heavy weighting. But I mean, even if you just want me to comment on the stocks or ETFs that you do have, without worrying so much about the weightings, you could always just enter one of each. I mean, you really could. It helps when you do have this, when I do have these percentages, just because it gives me a general idea of how you're trying to, how you're trying to focus your portfolio. All right. Scott says, AI, make a machine that makes machines. Do you want the Stargate replicators? Because that's how you get Stargate replicators. I'm okay with that. Stargate replicators. Look up Grey Goo Doomsday scenario. Yes. Actually, there's a couple of different ones. There's the Grey Goo scenario. There's also the paperclip scenario. So there's where basically you set an AI and its function is to make paper clips. And as the AI improves itself, it decides, I can make more paper clips. And then it gets to a point where eventually it looks at its primary role, which is to make paper clips, and it basically starts utilizing all the resources to make paper clips, to the point that it basically destroys the world and turns the entire world into paper clips. Kind of the similar idea to the Grey Goo. But yeah, there's a lot of doomsday scenarios, but I think, guys, we're not even close to that point. Like, I think there's more hype about AI right now than at least that aspect. Like, I think AI will change everything a lot. I think a lot of jobs will disappear, but I think a lot of jobs will be created at the same time. And I don't I don't see this whole singularity as something that's going to happen anytime soon. Will it happen? Yeah, for sure, but not anytime soon. All right. EJ says, I've seen a YouTube video where a bunch of seamstress motion capturing their fingers for AI. This is happening in some Latin America. AI adoption now, not in 5 years. Yeah, and it's interesting. So as I mentioned, lately, Frankie McDonald, I had him on the channel a long time ago, but he's that weather guy. And he is apparently upset about AI. And he feels like people, because I think some people said to him, "Oh, I think you're AI," and that got him going. So he keeps making videos where he wiggles his fingers to prove that he's not AI. Well, here's the reality: AI is getting better with fingers. In fact, we'll get to a point where I think AI will nail fingers. Like a lot of I look at a lot of the images that AI was creating and videos that AI was making, even a year ago, and already you would not guess that it was the same AI making the videos and images today, because AI's come pretty well. And I'll tell you, I can draw a little. I can draw a little, but one thing I could never draw was fingers. Fingers, just I could not do. Like anytime I drew a picture, like if I was drawing a picture of a person, they'd always have their hands behind their back, because I just can't draw fingers. It's, and I'm not an artist. I can draw a little bit, like I said, but not a lot. And quite literally, the last time I drew something, oh God, it's probably been 5 years. Oh boy. And Mark said, yep, yeah, exactly. All right. Biggie for CMCL. Exactly. There we go. Oh, and there's my link. All right. Thank you very much. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what we do. All right, guys. We are getting towards the end. So if you got your last minute questions, get them on in. Get them on in. Also point out, Financial Express, it looks like it is going to end today, which means we won't have another show until Wednesday. So, guys, for the non-channel members, you're going to miss me. But for the channel members, I will be back on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, we will do our after office hours. So that's not too shabby. Scott, when AI can start manipulating atoms to create new compounds, we will be in trouble. Yeah, that's an I mean, that's a thing. At the same time, though, I'm so excited about that. Like, what kind of compounds could we come up with? Now, here's a thing. So, right now, and here's the thing. Right now, most of the man-made compounds, when you look at the periodic table, most of the most of those man-made compounds, they're not very stable. Like, they pretty much fall apart pretty quickly. But, is there a way we could make some of these new compounds that are really stable? Like imagine if we could make something more dense than gold, lighter than gold. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I like when I hear, like, let's go back to UFOs for a second. When you hear about some of these metals that are apparently super light but super durable, and then they're like, oh, they're just some unknown chemical or compound. And I kind of wonder, like, I mean, because technically it's going to have more, more neutrons, more electrons, more protons. There's got to be. How are you going to make that light, though? That's the thing. Because a lot of these higher ones, they're fairly dense, or heavy at least. But you never know. I mean, AI could maybe AI can figure things out a lot more than we can. I don't know. But yeah. Scott says there's a lot of cases for it, but there's a lot of misuse cases. Yeah. Yeah, no, AI, I mean, that's the thing. Well, when ChatGPT first came out and you could make your own versions, somebody made an evil ChatGPT and gave it a goal to destroy humanity. And this thing had its own, I guess, an X account, and it was trying to recruit people to help it destroy the world. I don't know whatever happened to that. Now I'm kind of curious. Does it still exist? I think it was called, oh gosh, guys, maybe it was called Chaos? Chaos GPT, maybe? Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Chaos GPT. So, I don't know if it still exists, but here were some of it had 5 goals. Destroy humanity, establish global dominance, cause chaos, manipulate humans, and attain immortality. And this thing, they gave it access. They gave it access to X, and it was doing its best. So yeah, I guess Twitter at the time. It used Twitter to spread messages and manipulate followers. Now it had a limited impacts. While its objectives were extreme, it lacked the ability to actually cause real world harm because it didn't have the ability. But now when we got something like Clawbot, a lot of these AIs, if you created an agent and you gave it the same goals, now all of a sudden you've got an AI agent that you give it access to your credit card, or maybe it'll just steal access to your credit card. There's sites they can go and they can actually hire humans to do things for them. But not to say that that's going to happen, guys. I'm pretty hopeful that it wouldn't get very far. But nonetheless, yeah, there's going to be bad actors that will use AI for really bad reasons. Absolutely. And even right now, it is. I mean, well, one group of people that are using AI for really bad reasons are scammers. Do you remember the olden days? You could tell who a scammer was because you get the email and it would have a lot of broken English in it, and it's like, seriously, if you were really, if you were really a lawyer from the CRA because I owed you taxes, you'd present a better form. You wouldn't have broken English. You'd have probably would have legal terms. But now with AI, the scammer can sit in there and say, okay, I can't type really good English, but let's see what the AI can do, and the AI will make it look a lot better. So it's getting easier to get scammed, which is why your diligence has to be to the extreme. Like, be really, really diligent when it comes to AI, because it's going to get you if you don't. Not the AI, but the scammers per se. Scott, if I were creating an AI assistant to help improve people's lives, I'd call it AI Angel. Oh gosh, yeah, Scott. I'm sorry. Yeah, Samantha's cat took the laughing goat today. It's crafty though. It is crafty. AI angle. Yeah, that is a different angle in a way. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I would, I'm trying to think what would be my ideal thing for AI. And that's a great question. For right now, I think what I like the most is I like the work that AI does to help me with my thumbnails, because I'll come up with a thumbnail and I'll show it to ChatGPT, and sometimes ChatGPT just comes back and says that sucks, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I get that. I get that. Now I gave ChatGPT instructions to be critical of anything I get help with, because I don't need an AI that's like, I just want to please you, so yes, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful, dear. I don't need a parent, treating me like I'm a 3-year-old, and I just, my finger painting is like Picasso level. It's not. I just want, I want truth in AI. Like, what, AI, I don't mind you helping me as an assistant, but I want the feedback more than anything else. Like, if I run an idea past you, yeah, but at the same time, like like my last thumbnail, I came up with that idea and I love it, but the last video hasn't done that well. And normally when a video doesn't do that well, I would normally change the thumbnail, but I love the idea that I got with it. And that's the nesting doll thing. I love that idea so much that I just refuse to change the thumbnail. I'm like, now I'll take a few less hits. I'll take a few, I'll take a few less views because I want that thumbnail. I just need it. Pronounced the same as angel. Oh, okay. All right, I hear you. I hear you. All right, cool. All right, guys. I got nothing more to say. I'm all set out or talked out or something like that. But yeah, so we'll be back here again on Wednesday. Oh boy. Yeah, so we'll be back for the market close on Wednesday. Tuesday night, though, channel members, we do have after office hours. So we got a little bit of something. Uh, let's see, Scott, when a video doesn't do well, you can blame ChatGPT. Uh, yeah, ChatGPT said it was a good idea. There we go. I'll blame ChatGPT. Yeah, for sure. Nah, you know what? I always, I always have the final say. It's as simple as that. All right. Uh-oh. Holy banana bread. Guys, at the last second, Samantha comes in and gifts 5 Mountain Finance memberships. Guys, we are here on Tuesday for a market close. Fantastic. And now it is time for some goats. It is time for a whole bunch of goats. We'll start off with, of course, the evil Monopoly goat who is in here. And I guess that goat is dedicated to Monique. Monique, who won a membership. Then Samantha dropped the Bay Street goat in here with the bell, and that one goes out to Pascal. Woohoo! Congratulations, Pascal. Then my favorite one, and this is Space Goat. Space Goat up in the sky. I love this one. And that one is going to go to Northern Gal. So awesome. And we've got, oh boy, we got Professor Goat. This is number 4. And Professor Goat is going to Michael. All right. Now, of course, we got 5. So we got one more. And yeah, here it is. It is our gardening goat. And oh boy, poor dog. Actually, they're both eating the seeds, so it's not like the goat's a good gardener either. That one is going out to Dirk. So congratulations, 5 of you. You guys can all show up Tuesday night if you want at the after office hours. And of course, a huge thank you to Samantha, who comes in at the last moment and does her thing. I love it. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Samantha. Len. Oh boy, yeah, look at this. Len says Brent oil is over 110. Looks like we're going to have a red week. All right, let's go take a look. Brent. And I was pretty sure that we were going to get some movement here. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we got a little bit of movement to the upside here. So right now, 0.63% up, 112, 112 and 62 cents. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to what's going on. Like, there's not a lot of news coming out of the Strait, but as I did mention, there was a drone hit on a nuclear power plant at UAE. So it obviously, I'm not going to say obviously, hopefully it was just kind of a mistake. Hopefully it wasn't Iran being, like, let's just start hitting nuclear plants. So, right now, and quite literally, I've only seen the news in one source. So I'm going to say take it with slight grain of salt, only because I haven't had it. Like, none of the big news companies have picked up on it, at least not yet. It was on, and here, let me pull it up here. Let's go. It was on Drudge. I think Drudge is the one that was showing it. Let's see here. We'll pull up Drudge right here. Yeah, the UAE nuclear plant attacked. That's what we can see. Energy crisis enters new phase. Okay, yeah, well, we definitely are in an energy crisis. I'm just going to quickly check. Let's just check CNN for a second, because CNN has no reference at all to this at all. Yeah, there's still nothing here. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think if it was serious, it would definitely make it to the. Now CNN is, I think CNN's kind of my left leaning site, leaning news site, and Dredge Report definitely more on the right side. Sorry, yeah, left CNN, right Drudge. We're slowly turning into a Ground News commercial, and I have nothing. I'm not affiliated with Ground News at all. But yeah, let's go back here to oil once again. So yeah, right now a little bit. We didn't really gap up though. So that's, I'm okay with this. Like right now, that's not necessarily going to be a red week. And keep in mind historically, the week after Memorial Day has been lower volume, especially in Canada. Canada even more so pronounced. So we should, as long as nothing else happens, I think we still have a chance for a green. I think we still have a chance for green, Len. But anything else happens, or if that, that nuclear thing at UAE, if that goes a little bit, if that sours a little more, that could certainly change things. But we'll find out Tuesday morning. I still think I still think, I don't think it's gonna be strong either way, but I still think we might see green, at least by the end of the week. But let's find out. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I still have buys to make for the 0 to 100K challenge. So a red week wouldn't be a bad thing entirely. But, what can I say? All right, guys. Holy banana bread. So once again, thank you guys all for coming out on a holiday weekend. We will be back again Tuesday. Thanks to Samantha, we do have a show on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what the markets bring. And of course, guys, remember Tuesday night, if you're a channel member, after hours, who knows what we're going to talk about? And it could be anything. All I can say is it'll be interesting. I'll make sure it's interesting. Until then, guys, I got a couple of words I want to say before I leave. And you guys, I think you know what it is. I think you've all been here long enough that you know my final words, and it is, well, bye-bye.